Hello once again and welcome to Atheist Watch. This is Responder. Today we are covering right-wing media once again. This time we are covering a Christian right-wing political talk radio host by the name of Laura Ingraham. Now normally I set my alarm clock to talk radio and I wake up to various personalities such as Rush Limbaugh and some of the others that appear on Fox Radio News. Today I slept in a little bit later and I woke up to hear what you were about to hear in reference to marriage. Now, a subject matter expert called in and was a guest on the show to discuss marriage and divorce and how they are taking new steps to resolve divorce. Now, I'm not going to get into all that, so we're going to fast forward to her excerpt where Laura Ingraham brings up a question of religion and divorce rate. Let's listen in.
And really gives people information so they can feel like they're masters of marriage.
How many people, do you have the numbers on this question? Among people who attend church services once a week, what's the divorce rate?
Yeah, sadly, the only research on that is there's a Barna study, and I think it's been taken down off their website because there's some question about the validity. But what we know from our coalition and all the research we can find is that it doesn't seem to help whether you're conservative or religious.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I know it's hard. I know.
No, I actually don't believe it. I don't believe what you're telling me. I think that's complete garbage, okay? Because I know people who attend church. They attend church every week. And they make God the center of their lives, not their own whims or what they want or how they want to be fulfilled or you're not fulfilling me. No, God fulfills them. And if you take that attitude, then divorce is really not going to be an option because there's not going to be abuse in a marriage. And it's going to be more of a relationship of selflessness and self-sacrifice.
Well, that's what we would think. That's what we would think. And it does sound like, a lot of people would say they can't believe it. And that's why it's
I want to see that study. I don't buy it.
Well, I know you want to see the study, but I can tell you that at our conference every year there are the churched and the unchurched coming and trying to figure it out. It's Southern Baptists, that go to church more than once a week are not safe from divorce, and they come because
I didn't say they were safe. I didn't say they were safe. My point is that if you make God the center of your life and you commit yourself to a higher authority and biblical principles. And do your best to try to live up to them. We all fall. But if you try to do that, then divorce is not going to be the first thing you think of.
Well, it's not going to be the first thing, so maybe you think of it, the third thing. But there's a very high divorce rate among evangelical Christians. Very high.
Are you an evangelical Christian?
No, I'm not an evangelical Christian, but a lot of people in the coalition and a lot of presenters at the conference and the people who are working on marriage education are evangelical Christians. And I can have you call them, and they want to shore up, marriages in churches, and there are whole movements that are just focused on shoring up marriages in churches, and huge programs to try to do that. So if we could just go out and say, just believe in God and go to church and pray, and your marriage will be solid, that's what we would be doing. But it turns out that is not protective. It doesn't protect. And maybe the research is wrong, and maybe there is
Are you a religious person, Diane?
Yes.
You are?
But
so you go to church regularly?
I thought we were going to talk about marriage and marriage.
Well, we are, but I'm trying to figure out where you're coming from because I'm getting just a bit confused here about where you're going on this. So I'm just trying to figure out what your value system is because I just asked you a question about whether you're evangelical, and you kind of scoffed at that. I happen to be Catholic.
I didn't scoff at it. I told you that the evangelicals who are working hard on this problem are themselves mystified.
All right, so you're not demeaning evangelical Christians.
No, they present, at the conference all the time. They have keynotes and they've got programs, and no, not at all. I'm not. And you're annoyed because I told you that I didn't listen to your show, and I said I haven't listened to any radio show.
Yeah, since you want to bring up something that happened during the break, let's bring it up because I asked you. I said, have you listened to the show? And it's a pretty big radio show, and it's not the biggest thing in the earth, and who cares if you don't? But I was surprised that when you're in the business that you're in, where it's about values and connecting with people, that, and it's just interesting. You just have never listened to any talk radio in your entire life ever, right?
I may have 15 years ago before I started this thing I'm doing, but I work 24/7, literally. You know, I worked last night till 3 o'clock and the night before until 3 o'clock, and I get up and I start working again, and I don't commute. I'm not in a car.
Well, you can have a radio, right? You don't need to commute. You can put it in the kitchen.
Right. I don't turn on music. I don't turn on talk radio. I'm sorry. You know, I thought I should be honest with you. I haven't heard your show. I didn't realize there was call-in even. No one told me that, which I don't mind. I look forward to. I know about talk radio. I think it's incredibly
well, you're a professional. You're a professional, and you're head of this big, interesting, and I think a vibrant group, and that's why we wanted to have you on. I'm always interested that people who, you know, want to get the word out about your group. I mean, just a little research on, you know, with whom you're talking and to whom you're talking in the audience, like Aaron in Cincinnati, 55 KRC. Aaron, what do you think?
Well, I can't agree at all. I happen to know that my relationship with my wife is strengthened because of our relationship with God. My wife and I have always believed that our marriage is essentially a triangle with God, that as we draw closer to God, we draw closer to each other and vice versa. If I draw closer to my wife, strengthen my relationship with her, then I strengthen my relationship with my Heavenly Father. And I just know that my relationship with my wife is better because of our religion, and that divorce is absolutely not an option because we've made a contract with God and with each other, and that divorce will never, ever be an option because of our religion.
Go ahead, Diane.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm very happy for him. He has found a solution for his marriage.
But, I mean, what's the
I mean,
key
that's
thing?
Wonderful for him. That's wonderful.
Right, but you're saying it's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
If that were the answer, there wouldn't be divorce among religious people. I mean, there wouldn't be
Well, isn't it because they're not living up to the religious tradition and religious values? Isn't that really the problem? It's not that the religion's the problem. It's that they're not really living up to their ideals.
No, we all take a vow when we marry. We all think that we're in love. We found this person. We want to have babies with them. We want to continue the intergenerational tapestry of our families. We believe we're in love. We mean it when we say we're going to stay with this person till death do us part. We're not bad people. I mean, I don't think Ronald Reagan was a bad person. I don't think he's divorced. I don't think Bob Dole was a bad person. He's divorced. Newt Gingrich. I mean, you name all these people. I don't think.
Well, I didn't say any of them were bad people.
No,
I mean, we all fall down. I mean, all of us do.
Right, and I think they probably had good relationships with God. I don't know that. I don't know them personally. You know, I don't know. But I'm just saying that what's exciting.
You just brought up three Republicans, which is interesting. But go ahead.
Well, because these are people I'm assuming that we admire and you admire and your listeners admire. I mean, I'm just saying that.
Well, you haven't listened to the show, so you don't know what I admire. I mean, I'm not, you know, Bob Dole's a nice guy, but I don't think I've ever been, you know, waving the flag for the Bob Dole candidacy in 1996. But okay. I appreciate your point.
Do you understand that I'm saying religion is wonderful, it's great, it may not be enough, and if there is other information that you can combine with your religion, you know, combine it with your religion, and wouldn't it be wonderful if we could say that evangelical Christians had a...
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I think you get the gist of this radio show and what went on this morning, January 2nd, 2009. And this is Responder, and I wanted to encourage feedback on this subject of marriage, religion. Please leave comments, text comments or video below. I want to hear from, I guess to say, both sides of the aisle, Christian and atheist, as far as their views on marriage and what might be the problems with marriage, as well as what is the relationship between religion and marriage. This is Responder, and until next time, I will continue to search for conservative, right-wing media for your entertainment.